Hi there and welcome. It's Jennifer McGuire, and I'm finally back with more of my favorite crafty things of 2017. Today is all about stencils and embossing folders. I really believe that stencils and embossing folders are often too overlooked in the crafting world. They offer so many great possibilities, so many great techniques, and they're inexpensive. So I thought I should devote a day just to them. I'm going to start out with stencils. Now, I have done many stencil techniques over the years, and I'll link to a playlist here of videos that I've done if you're looking for some fun techniques. Stencils are very inexpensive and can be used in so many different ways. So the first stencil that I wanted to share with you this year is the Simon Says Stamp Stained Glass 1 stencil. Now, this is such an ornate, beautiful, detailed stencil that can be worked with a variety style of cards. Now, I'm just doing some quick inking here just to show you what it looks like. There are obviously many wonderful techniques you can do. So I'm just applying ink over this with Distress Oxide ink just because I like that ink for blending. And check this out. Look at the beautiful detail this stencil has to offer. This is beautiful with different embossing pastes or glitter pastes. So many things you can do with this. And embossing with this stencil is gorgeous too. Now, I actually have a video where I use this, and you can see a picture of the card here. And I will provide links to these videos on my blog and in the description below, so that if you want to learn more about these particular stencils, you can check out those videos. So you can see that card there used this stencil for some layered heat embossing. My next recommendation is actually a pair of stencils. This is the Medallion B and the Medallion A stencil, so B is on the left there. These are from Altenew. Now, you can use these separately. As you can see, they're beautiful, but when you layer them together, they're even more fabulous. This is one of those that you can mask off part of a stencil, like a flower from this, and do partial stenciling. Or you can put down one stencil, ink with a color, then put down the other stencil and ink with another color, as I did here for these layered cards. Really easy to do, beautiful results. Here we have the Holtz Spiral Stencil. Now, this stencil is fantastic for creating a fun focal point on your card. Now, you could do the focal point kind of off center, but I like it centered right up on your card. And then you just ink kind of in a circular area and you get a beautiful focal point. You could even mask off parts so you create kind of fun flowers or ink up the whole background, but look how beautiful that is. You could just do a simple sentiment in the center, add some shimmer, and you'd be good to go. Another that's great for creating a focal point on a card or to simply create a sunshine for a scene is the My Favorite Things Radiating Rays stencil, and I have used this one a lot this year. So usually I like to kind of have it up in a corner, kind of making some sun rays come down or over a hill, but you can also just have it to create a focal point in the center of your card. I'm just kind of pulling some ink from the center here, but you could definitely cover the entire card if you wanted to. This is another one that works really great with stencil brushes, so you can get a soft look. Now, in this example, I actually applied some Distress Oxide inks, laid down my stencil, and then spritzed water over it, and you get that really cool background effect. So that's one that you could use with any stencils, but you can see how this radiating ray is so beautiful. Now, another stencil that is great for creating a focal point is the Focal Point stencil from Create a Smile. Now, this one comes all the way from Germany, and it's got these very thin little lines. Now, I'm not going to extend my ink all the way to the tips, but they do kind of form a tip on them. This would be fun to kind of do in different places on your card to make it look like fireworks, or again, just as a simple focal point for the center of your card. This is beautiful when you do like white pigment ink on, say, like blue cardstock, so you get kind of a soft look in the background. Absolutely beautiful, and I love how thin-lined it is, so you get just a little bit of color. Next, we have the must-have stencil of the year. This is the My Favorite Things Cloud Stencil. Now, what's great about this is that there are 4 sides to this stencil, so you can get 4 different cloud formations. So you can rotate your stencil around and ink it up. You can even flip it over and get 4 more formations. You can also flip your paper around and get waves if you wanted to. Now, I did a video showing 6 ways to use this stencil. Be sure to check that out, and you can see one of the cards there. I love how soft you can create a cloud background. Very easy and inexpensive. Okay, along the same lines, we have the My Favorite Things Drifts and Hills stencil. So this has different edges that you can ink up to create either snowdrifts or hills, or even just fun waves on a background. This one would be great for an underwater scene also. So you can rotate the stencil around, even flip it over. You can ink in different directions. Very easy to use, and you can get different results each time. This would be great for a snowbank with just using a little soft color along the edges. You could also trace these onto cardstock and cut along them to create snowbanks. Okay, next we have the Honeybee Outdoor Scene Builder stencils. These 4 stencils come together and has all the elements that you need to create an outdoor scene. So the first stencil has like a sun or a moon, and then also 4 different clouds. Remember, you can flip this stencil over and use it that way to get even different cloud shapes. Now, the second stencil is a cloud stencil. You can see there are 4 different sides, and they each offer a different amount of fluffiness, so it's nice to have those options. The third stencil is actually a mountain scene stencil, or hills, that you can create for the background. You can see there's one on the top and one on the bottom. I just wanted to show you kind of what this looks like. You just ink along it as I have with the other stencils, and you can get this beautiful hill-looking scene. Very easy to create and beautiful, especially for winter cards, but you could definitely use it for all seasons. The final stencil in this one, the 4th one, has these trees. So you can easily ink these over a background to create some tree shapes or give like a forest look in the back. This is such a unique set, and I love all these different builder ones that Honeybee is coming out with. Okay, along a completely different line is the Echo Park Diagonal Buffalo Plaid stencil. I know everybody's kind of crazy about plaids right now, and this Buffalo Plaid stencil is very easy to use. You could definitely use like a black ink over red cardstock. You could even put Versamark ink over this and gold heat emboss it. But I just wanted to show you what it looked like quickly, so I put some Distress Oxide ink over it, and you can see the fine detail that you get with this. I'm going to show you an embossing folder like this in a moment too. Oh, and by the way, you can ink this up with one color, then shift the stencil and ink it up with another color to get a fun, colorful plaid look. Now, the Echo Park Beach Towel stencil is fantastic. It has like these little X's that would look really cool white heat embossed on like a colored background, or even for a soft background. But another fun thing you can do with this is ink it up with one color, then shift the stencil a little bit and ink it up with a second color and create a totally different look. Now this example is super bright, but you could do like one layer with Versamark ink, one layer with white ink, and that would just give you a little bit of variation on a colored cardstock. You can also use glitter paste or embossing paste with this one too, create a fun texture on a background. I also am really liking the Hero Arts Diamond stencil. This one's great for modern looking cards, but especially masculine cards. I really like the clean lines of this one. Here I'm just going to ink up a portion of it and then show you that you can take the stencil and just turn it 90 degrees and ink it with another color and get a really cool looking pattern. I'm going to use some crazy colors here. I'm using a bright green and a blue, but it'll show you that you can kind of even just rotate a stencil and get a completely different look. So you can see in that center there, you have a really cool looking pattern. I've used this one in a video and I'll share that link below too. Next we have the Gina K Foliage stencil. Now this one of course would be a beautiful background. I just really like the flourish look of this. But you can even kind of have it offset to the bottom of a card, and where those flourishes or those leaves kind of meet in the center, you have a nice little focal point. This would be beautiful in just like a glitter paste, like a white glitter paste on a white background, and then put just a simple little stamped image in the center or just a sentiment. Really would be quite elegant. So here you can see the great detail that you get with that. Beautiful stencil. Next we have another layering stencil set that you can buy separate or together from Altenew. This is the layered Dahlia stencils. So B is on the left, A is on the right, and I have used this one an awful lot, and I've shown many techniques that you can do with this one. So be sure to check out that video that I linked to. So if you use one by itself, you get a beautiful floral background. But if you then go and put the next stencil on top, just line it up and ink it with another color, you get a really dynamic looking background. It gives you the look of dimension. It's just beautiful. Now I use some crazy colors on here, but you can really see how gorgeous that can be. Here's a peek at one of the cards that I made using this. This one I actually inked up with the first stencil and then heat embossed with the second, so I get lots of texture and dimension to that one. The video also shows how to make an impression with one stencil and then ink with the other. Okay, here we have the Tim Holtz Floral Stencil. I really like a lot of the Tim Holtz patterns. I think there's a great variety to them, but there's something really special about this one and the detail that it offers. I actually used this in an online card class where I heat embossed it with sticky embossing powder and then added gold flakes to it. It was really fun. Next we have the Neat and Tangled Balloon Duo Stencil Set. Now this one is really fun because you can create a beautiful balloon background and you can kind of rotate and move around the stencil so you can get a different look. There you can see an example that I made where it looks like I have some see-through balloons in a rainbow of color, all using the stencil set. It's a great set. Okay, so now it is time for embossing folders. Now I just have a few embossing folders to recommend this year, but if you want to keep a card very simple, you can just do a stamped image, a sentiment, and then do an embossing folder for the background. It adds a lot of interest and texture and it doesn't take long, and they're very inexpensive. Here we have the Echo Park Buffalo Plaid embossing folder. Remember the stencil I showed you earlier? Well, this is the embossing folder, and you can see the beautiful plaid detail that you get with it. Now, I did want to mention embossing folders you can use with most any die cut machines. You just want to check with the manufacturer on how to do the setup, and they work beautifully. Here we have the Spellbinders Wedding Ring Stitch. What I like about this one is that it's very subtle, so you can add just a little bit of interest to the background. And I really like both sides of the embossing. And this embossing folder was really designed to fit nicely on the front of a 4 1/4 by 5.5 inch card. Next we have the Echo Park Sunny Dot embossing folder. Can't go wrong with a dot background. This one you can either put on a card embossed, so the dots are raised, or debossed, so the dots are actually kind of dented down, which I think really gives a really cool look too. Next we have the Bohemian Bazaar embossing folder. This is a larger folder, so you can kind of move where your paper is in the folder. And I really like the detail that these particular embossing folders give. Here you can see I just use a light gray cardstock, but it gives such dimension, really adds quite a bit of interest to your card. Now this next embossing folder, I can't get over how much I love this one. I actually have a video coming up using this, and I like both sides of the embossing too. Here you can see the gorgeous detail that you get. This one would be fun to ink the inside of the embossing folder, put the paper in it, run it through your machine so you get ink in the valleys of the embossing. Here we have the Brutus Monroe Vintage Tapestry embossing folder. I'm new to his embossing folders, but they really are fantastic. They work with a variety of style of cards. And by the way, if you're looking for some techniques for using embossing folders, I'll link to a playlist here. Here we have the Tim Holtz Roses embossing folder. This fits perfectly on the front of a 4 1/4 by 5.5 inch note card. And you can see there is a lot of detail to this one. This one would be fun to emboss on white paper and then lightly rub in ink over the raised areas. There you have it, my favorite stencils and embossing folders for this year. I link them all in my YouTube description below, but be sure to go to my blog. I have more information on these products. I also have some discount codes and giveaways. So I'll link to my blog here. If you are interested in more stencil and embossing techniques, I have those linked in the center. Thanks so much for stopping by, and I'll see you soon with another My Favorite Crafty Things video. Take care.